Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Open Mic, episode 29. And what a night it is. VXP weekend. I think everyone's really enjoying that. And we've got a friendly bunch of pirates here tonight to talk about this. So, guys, how have you been finding the VXP weekend?
A grind.
I like it.
Yeah?
Sucks.
Okay.
I like the new targets.
It's here and there. Who said that?
Boy, it sucks. That's me.
And there you go. So that's episode 29. We'll see you next week. No, guys, care to elaborate? I mean, let me try one by one. So, Brian, how are you finding it? Have you been ranking any fleets?
Yeah, I had some hell rates that I had built in between the last raid and the just finished one. I was able to get my hell rates up triple salty from nil to Scald in 4 hits. I used a grease monkey and repair tokens to repair them quickly in between because I had to do other stuff this weekend, and I was able to get it done right quick and just fine.
Nice. Like it. Okay. And how about you, George?
I actually did pretty good. My hell rates, I was doing 112s. I actually talked to, I think it was either Mark or Ren, and one of them told me how to navigate through the 112s pretty easy, and I could do 2 of them with my hell race, got them skulled up, and then everything else I was just suiciding in 80s. Worked pretty good.
Didn't realize I had myself muted there for a sec.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
One of those nights. Yeah, I haven't even had a whiskey yet. But anyway, Mark, how are you? I know you are ranking in a ghost core right now, but how are you finding it?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, obviously it's crash and burn, isn't it, for most of it? So 5 hits on the Furies. They were done with a triple salty. But they've got armor, so obviously you get a bit more points, don't you? Because they're armored. And then I ran it. Basically, I was very fortunate. I bombed down to Alpha World because 400 is too busy. And we're in 66 at the moment. So part right next to a dub and right next to a tower as well, which is handy. So basically nipping across, killing them, going back in. I've got a grease monkey on as well, fixing them up, which was 8 coins, and then going back out again. So I did the whole lot, I think, for about 35 coins, something like that. So, and then it's godforsaken ghost crawl, which is just taking forever.
How did you do the whole lot for 35 coins, man? Like I've spent like 400 coins or something. I've been suiciding, just running fleets in, suiciding them over and over and over and over. But that's cost like 300-400 coins.
Well, each target has a different modifier to it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Okay. No, I mean I've been suiciding fleets in the 112s, yeah, or the 114s, whatever.
But I had nothing really apart from these Furies to rank, to be honest.
Sorry, I miscalled that. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, and we've got someone new on the show tonight, or at least someone I've not seen before. Mordius, how's it going, bud? Good to see you on TFC. How are you finding VXP?
I know I'm the only odd man out, but I really like these new targets. It reminds me of when we used to fight the Drac fleets. You have to pick them apart. Yes, you take damage. They see you right away, but it's not that much damage on my hulls. So I've been raking Furies, some Citadels, another Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, some Nash's lightning carriers, just throwing them at him every time for free.
Nice. You use that hull?
No, I don't use them, but I just can't part with them.
I'd love to see that hull become good at some point. I never built that hull, but I always liked it.
It never really had its day. It's a fun hull, but yeah, that's about it. But I like the targets. I like these better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Paul, how are you finding it? I'm sure you've probably been sending out your Man of War.
No, that absolutely sucks. It's
Right.
loaded, and it's not a lightweight one-weapon hull, and it doesn't kill shit in any target. From the 112s, 114s, the 80s, the only one I managed to kill was the 41.
41. Well, I mean, I'm sure.
20-hour repair time as well, right?
41.
Yeah.
With the Man of War.
Yeah. That's only one I built.
And did you enjoy the 20-day build?
Oh, that rocked. I did that back to back actually on FM, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah,
I haven't built mine yet, man. But
you have. I've seen it in your base cards, you pussy.
That was a preview server.
Oh, was it?
See, I built in the preview server to stop the Furies, but to be honest, I think in the live game I don't need it. I can figure out how to stop them fighting.
I sort of built it because the group that I am is we've all got ghost crawlers, etc., and always built it. So someone's got to test it, haven't they? I'm the guinea pig, I suppose.
No.
I have asked a certain person who's here now at the moment what build they, and they're still asking around what build.
Mine's going to be fully built in 8 days. It's just doing the armor now. So.
Yeah.
It's
what weapons you put on it. I mean, it's, technically speaking, it's armor points, etc. As we've gone down the road before with builds, armor points, sometimes it doesn't quite work out the way we plan them to work out.
Exactly. Yeah, very much so.
But the Man of War is worse than anything else to rank, I think.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay. Well, let me jump back one to Imre, because he's jumped in after I've asked the questions, and I'm going left to right here. So, Imre, how are you finding VXP weekend?
Well, I've got a ghost crawler to somehow rank, and I found out that the only thing that actually is practical is the 114 so far.
You taking it to 3 ships, mate?
Yeah, just the 3 ships and then wait for timeout.
Then sit in the corner and waiting.
Problem is that it seems like someone else is doing that too, and I found a couple of them with nothing to kill in there for me.
Yeah, take a gunboat with you. Go in the gunboat, spot it, and then go in with your ghost crawler afterwards, mate.
Oh yeah, should have done that. The other thing is that sometimes I get in there, I forget about it, and then the autopilot kills my ghost crawler, and then 17 or 18 hour repairs to play with. That's annoying.
I mean, it's quite interesting to think that maybe this VXP weekend, most players are going to be. It's certainly players that were collecting shards. There's going to be a lot of players that have got mega holes built, and it's already sounding like that here. And you would have thought that Kixeye maybe would have incorporated something to give us a bit more of a chance to rank the mega holes. You know,
it's kind of unfair because all those people who got it first before me because they got lucky, they managed to get them ranked. And in case if they died, they managed to just zombie the ghost crawler and just keep doing what they did. I have to repair it all the way up, or I can't rank it at all.
Yeah. I know. I'm with you. Yeah, I didn't even think about the zombie thing, which is another thing. Yeah, it's not an easy hole to rank. I've managed to rank my ghost crawler so far to rank 1. So
I got 48%, but I can't see myself getting to school this time. Maybe next month.
Okay. Well, then let's move along through next in line of my screen, which is Mr. Wren. How are you doing, buddy? Glad to see you here tonight. And how's your VXP weekend?
Am I next? Didn't you skip Tito and Watal? They're before me.
From my screen left to right is you, then Tito, then Watal.
Okay. So it's going well. I mean, I had, I think, 8 or 9 ships to rank. Some were new, some were halfway ranked or something like that. So I suicided my Furies. I think they're at 71% now. And one of them is actually scrolled a couple of times. Just threw them on the 114s and let them die in 10 seconds, I guess. And rinse and repeat with the triple salty. Then the rest is like just a couple retributions on Vendetta. But these I have no priority for them, so I was just suiciding and repairing the slow way. They repair pretty fast, no armor. Actually, the only one that was, I'm gonna say, fun was the hell rates, because then I went into a 112. I drove around and I was able to finish the 112, and like I still had like 70% health on my fleet, so it was awesome. So from the new targets, I like the 112. You know, I know it's a change, and I saw some people mad because Kickside took away the death explosion, but then again, I saw a lot of people mad doing raid because of the death explosion. So I don't really think what's going to make people. I don't know what's going to make people happy there. Leave the explosion, take away the explosion. You know, I don't know. I like the 112. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. It had a good level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
The 114, on the other hand, same mechanics, but it's just crazy, crazy, crazy hard. It's not even fun, right?
I was
kill a scout and I lose a sub. I kill the second scout, I lose another sub, and then by the third scout kills the other two because their damage output's low already. So good for ranking, horrible if that's going to be the elite target.
Yeah, because of course Kickside have already announced that the 112s and the 114s are going to be the next raid's A sets, aren't they? So.
Not really, no. They didn't announce it. Be careful.
Put your talons away, Liam. For Christ's sake.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see that 112 in the A targets.
Well, but here's the thing, right?
Subset.
And I'm not complaining, but the 112 was doing me less damage than the 100.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be the next step up in their curve? Or are they going to step the whole curve down? Are they even going to keep the 100? Because their plan was to keep the 100 in October and add one.
I find it
take away the explosion. Are they really going to do that, or are they actually going to reset all targets to not have the death explosion anymore?
Well, I don't know, but you know, we do have Laredo in the chat, and I actually have been hearing a rumor that, and people have kind of blamed him for the rumor, but I heard that on the S sets next month, we're not actually going to have to do an S set. We're going to have a choice between the two S targets.
Yeah, let's blame Laredo, please. Go on.
I actually want to know if he knows, because that would be really interesting to know a little bit.
But I'll be honest,
about
Dragon, even if he does know, who's to say it's not going to change again?
That's true. That's true.
Coming anyway for
Nothing has ever changed
If you
about
guys
these
are
targets at
fooling
all.
around with the targets to find an optimal combination, by this point in time, I very much doubt they are committed to one format and one target.
I find it very interesting to see Kicksite, like in previous raid formats, when they make a target, they kind of, that's it. You know, we see that target for the next few months. Whereas this raid, they're not even slightly tweaking them; they're massively changing these targets straight away off the bat, which really spells out that they perhaps consider that they got it wrong.
If you let me, I'm gonna use a minute here to say I told you so, because one problem. Yeah, one problem I raised when I saw.
Your tongue out at us now or no?
I think I'm in that line too, but you know.
You know, because when I saw the early targets, and if you remember, even on a show months ago, when you saw the very first river target and was for subs, and a lot of people said, "Oh, is that raid going to be all subs?" And we even at the TFC we said, "Oh, we don't know." That was months ago. We said this target's for subs, but we don't know if the whole raid's going to be for subs. And it's just the fact that a lot of players do not have fun driving subs.
No, these are not sub targets. I'm sorry.
You know, they should have a mix of targets. So, and I'm just going to go on a limb here and say maybe here's a tier A set for subs, and here's a tier A for surface ships, and both are rivers and similar damage, but one's for subs, the other's for surface ships. Kind of because some people just don't like subs, and we saw the massive drop in raid participation. And I honestly don't think tweaking with the target, taking away the explosion, add more torpedoes, add thermal, remove thermal, or whatever, doesn't change the basic fact that a lot of players, and in my alliance there are some like that, just did not participate because they don't like driving subs. Period.
Yeah. And even if you do like driving subs, that first experience with the raid could easily have left a bad taste in your mouth. So even if they did change it and make it better on the whole for everyone for next month and the months following, those players might not come back and say, "Oh, it's going to be like the last one." Well, no. And even if they say, "Oh, it's changed," it's like, well, they keep changing targets before, during, and after. So just no, I'm not going to do it.
In fact, these targets aren't the sub-targets anyway, as far as I'm concerned, as a gamer.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me.
Anything. Go on, sorry, Liam. Go on.
I was just going to say, before we delve deep into the targets, I'll just finish asking the other two guys how their VXP weekend went, and then you guys can just smash it, pluck them to pieces. So, Tito, how was your VXP weekend, bud? I didn't mean to leave you too late.
Quite busy, to be honest. I got a lot to rank up because I was ranking up all my conquerors, so 5 vendettas, 2 revenges, 2 retributions, 5 more retributions, the furies. So I got quite busy. I enjoy it quite a lot hitting the 80s with all those conquerors, because honestly, just to see 5 seconds of play hitting 112 or 114 with the payouts, that was not even worth to hit. I tried them with subs. With subs, I enjoy hitting them, especially the 112. The 114, I think it's a bit too much, but okay. But for the rest, if you have to hit with surface weapons, I suggest you go hit 80s. You get better payouts.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got left before we go off on our little...
Yeah, sorry. No, and of course, Watala, how was your VXP weekend, buddy?
The only thing I really had to rank was the Furies, and kind of like ran, just suicide them and get it over with. I did find out I had one Phantom Cuda to rank, and it had a torp on it. Took it in there with it, and it was amazing. I got about 25% more VXP even on my Furies just because it fired a few shots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, I personally, I find the VXP weekend the same way that I find every VXP weekend, and it's just, you know, I just use my fleets as Operation Shield and just run them in to let them die over and over and over until they're ranked.
So now we're going to start accepting this, are we, for VXP weekend, or no? Is this a way we're accepting the trend, or?
Well, it would. Do you know what? It would be more interesting for me as a player. At least from I feel that if I actually had something to do, as opposed to like get my fleet and control it and drive it and do a bit of skill, and if I drove well, I would take some damage and get a lot of VXP, and if I drove badly, I would maybe get less VXP and more damage. You know, that would be a good VXP weekend. But
I mean,
and I'm going to disagree with that, just because there are different trains of thought in the community. I think some people would think like you and would enjoy targets that actually present a challenge and are fun to play. A lot of other people just say, let me get this ranking crap out of the way fast so I can actually go and do something I like with the game, PvP or whatever. I just see the VXP weekend personally as, here's 100 coins. I'm going to go rank my ships as fast as I can, so I suicide them mostly. And then I can go back and do stuff I like.
Yeah, I mean,
right. So pretty much I divided my what was my raid budget between raid and VXP weekend.
But I think there is a bit of each, Ren and Liam, because if you play with a skill and you last longer, you do more damage to the ships, so you get more VXP. If you just go on suicide,
yes,
you can't hit.
You're right, because there were months before where even if you try to kill the whole target, you would get nothing more in terms of VXP. There was a month like that.
Actually, Ren, you get 748 tested on a VXP target. I got 748 VXP more than somebody going in with a similar fleet with one weapon on.
This month, you're correct. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just reminding you guys, there was a VXP weekend a few months ago where there was siege targets, strongholds, and whether or not you killed anything didn't make a difference at all. You would score the same amount of XP. This month,
right,
I'm not arguing. Well, these are things that we've tested. I tested it with one of the guys who I ride with quite often. We tested a similar fleet. I put a double salty on, or a triple rank crew double salty star. He had it on there. He went in, trashed his fleet completely. I drove around, I killed the whole target, and I ended up with 748 VXP more than he did.
But did you do how much damage on your ship? Because it's all about damage. It's been like that on VXP for a long time.
Yeah, no, this is something that I don't agree with, Mark.
But it's been like it for ages, mate. It really
yeah, no, it's something I don't agree with. This is a trend that we're getting into. Now, we're getting to a raid, and everybody will moan that you'll trash your fleet in a raid on a target, and we'll all go down there for months on end. in every month to get our fleets ranked, and when it comes to the raid, everybody sits back, moans about getting their fleets trashed for points for the raid. Come on, let's get a bit of continuity here. We're either going to be happy with
You're massively breaking up there, Paul.
Yeah.
Can't even hear you now, bud.
Are you alright? Am I out?
Sorry, it sounds like you've become a transformer.
Oh.
So, sounds like a very...
Do I have to refresh?
Yeah, try again. But it was just when you were speaking, it was very like muffled, like echoey.
Try me. So while that break happens, do you mind if I explain a little bit about VXP mechanics and how it's gained?
Yeah, I can hear Brian perfectly.
Do some math. Go on.
Okay.
I could hear you. I couldn't. It was just. It sounded like maybe you have an internet.
Breaking up big time, Paul. Like we couldn't make any sense of what you were saying because the words are all coming cut off.
All right, no problem. I don't.
All right, Brian.
Okay. So VXP is gained on a per ship basis, and what it is it is based on the amount of damage that you deal to the target and the amount of damage that you receive relative to your armor points. And basically you earn 1 XP per 10th of your maximum armor dealt in damage to the target. Do you have 5,000 health? Have you hit him for 2,500 damage? That's 2,500 over 5,000 is half, so you get 5 out of 10. If you deal 5,000, you get 10 out of 10. If you deal 20,000, you get 10 out of 10. You can't get any more. The same is true for dying, which is why a lot of people just suicide fleets because they're assured to get a lot of VXP just for dying. And that is because these targets all have a large multiplier to that basic amount of 10. Like I was getting 45,000 with a triple salty, so 15,000 basically without, for dealing all the damage and taking all the damage on 4 ships and taking all the damage on a Corvette. So that multiplier is at pretty high estimates at about 1750, I think. The professor just posted an article about it. So you do want to have weapons on your ships to a certain extent so that you can hit targets. But I actually think, going back to Ren's and Liam's discussion a little bit ago, that there could be room for both where skill could play a part. If they were to up that damage cap for gaining the XP from 10 to 20, so if you dealt double your damage in armor, that's the max you could get for damage, or 30 or 40. You get VXP faster if you drive well and deal damage to the target, or if there was a large VXP payout to your fleet upon completion somehow, if they could code in a way to do that, then you could be rewarded for your skill in driving and the extra damage that you deal. It's also why a lot of ships run on armored, because the lower max armor means you have to deal less damage. But I think for this case, you might want to put some armor on your ships, especially if you're in the 114s, because those torpedoes are very painful. And once you get spotted, the 2 giant ships in the middle will launch 8 of them at you, and it nearly killed off a pretty armored Hellwraith for me. So if you had an unarmored Hellwraith, they might be dead straight away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, mate. My Furies are fully armored, and it made a big difference.
Yeah, one thing I saw in the article from Larry on the DP Professor blog is, and it was good information, the 80 is actually paying more VXP than the 112, the Assault Force level 80. So maybe instead of suiciding Furies on the 112, where you're not going to kill anything, it would be better if you went and killed a level 80, because then you get VXP from the killing and from dying, you know, a bit of both.
See, and that's the question. I've actually, yes, I've actually tried it, and I was actually getting better numbers out of the 112 than I was out of the 114.
Even doing damage? No. How about the 80?
Just suiciding. I have not tried the 80. I actually had a guy in one of my alliance mates said that he was getting the best numbers out of the 80. So there's
you can do damage, right?
I'm getting more.
I think he was suiciding.
Okay.
I was hitting them and killing the ships on the 80, and I was getting more VXP on the 80 than suiciding the 112 because I was killing the ships besides getting killed.
There's also an important point on the 80s. That counter for getting VXP based on damage and dying resets when you enter a new battle. So what you can do, and what I did with Apollos, you go into the 80, you come in from 6 o'clock, you trigger the first ship, and then there's the second, like the Rhino that comes from the top side, and you kill those two, and you wait for retreat, and you leave. And then you get the XP, and the game stores that. And then you go back in, and it restarts again. You can kill the next two ships, go back out, go back in, and you get it counts it and keeps it stored up from all those ships you killed independently because you did it across different
a good point,
battles.
because that cap on max XP is per battle, right?
Yeah.
You're right. Not per target, per battle.
Yeah, as he said, you get a max of 10 where you do, it's 10 times the 10% of your armor, right? So if you do more damage than that to kill ships, you don't get it. So that's the point of hitting one or two and leaving, unless you are hitting with vendettas. Also, revanquishers that you cannot move, that you have to wait till the last moving target comes to you.
Awkward silence. Okay.
Can you hear me
Well,
now?
it's just that a lot
Yes,
of people
Paul.
are getting different results from,
Well,
because
see,
everyone's
for-
trying to figure out the modifier, and since we don't know the modifier, everyone's reporting different things for different targets, and I'm not sure that the modifier is that dissimilar in some of these.
I don't see any difference at all. I mean, the concept is, and it's been like it for many, many months, if you've got a fleet of, say, subs, I find it definitely better to taking a full fleet of subs in, but going in and letting one die, and then just as long as you haven't running too big a crew, because you're wasting the crew, it's just go in there and just let one sub go forward, die, then go out, go back in, second sub, go in, die, and you do 5 times in without having to go back to your dock, and then you'll get far more VXP that way. I mean, obviously, go around, especially like in a 112, you can go around and kill all the non-thermal ships first with a set of subs, and then just pause, go back out to the corner, and then just take one forward at a time, and then just go out and in, out and in, out and in. And it's definitely working better. I mean, that's why I did it last month. It worked much better, and I got far more points.
I've got a suggestion for you guys as well. For this one, you need a Vanquisher plus an Apollo or something very fast. You go in with 5 ships, and you park the 3 ships that you actually want to rank behind the Vanquisher, and you just go and trigger the ships with the Apollo. And as long as these 3 ships are staying behind the Vanquisher is going to take the fire, and you can just do the killing from cover. And you can rank ships that shouldn't be able to survive it otherwise. And you don't have to do suicide in the 112 or 114.
Well, I just found suiciding just a lot quicker and easier. You know what I mean? All right.
More expensive
And
to
more expensive.
It cost me a few coin, but
A few? How many's a few?
just,
Yeah, I won't lie. I mean, I spent 100 coins on this today. Just suiciding Furies and Hell Raids.
Apparently, Liam spent 100 as well.
I spent about
spent-
100, times 4.
I spent 0.
Yeah, well, I ranked
I mean, even spending 0. I mean, I'm spending 0 on my Retributions and Vendettas, and they started from no rank, and they're not fully weaponized and built. But even going slow repair on them, I think all 4 ships are 3 or 4 ships. They are close to 70% already, even without spending a penny.
Yeah.
I've just found a set of Novas. I've just pulled them out of storage, and I'm going to go and rank them now. Didn't know Adam.
Can they
Now,
can they
we're
fire
talking
the
about other
motors through all
stuff,
that
but gotta
dust?
remember that the top targets they stop spawning in 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours are gone, and then it's only URF and the low-level assault forces, and that's it.
Well, the 112s and the 114s ain't going to be a loss anyway, are they? Really?
One thing that I don't know is if it's damage dealt based after applying enemy resistances counts towards the bonus. It feels like it should be. And if that's the case and you really want to like next level this, then you would put concussive Gatling guns or concussive reciprocator is the other one. One of those on because they have high resistances to anything but concussive. So you just will actually deal damage with those. But just like 1 or 2. Then take them off.
Well, put it like this. What I've been running up, I'll run 2 Hellravs because I've got 2 Scold already. They ran quite well. I was running Man of War, Retribution, and a Vendetta just to finish off something I was doing. And they were not doing anything in the 112s, 114s. And as I said earlier. I don't know if anybody was listening. I ran it into my Man of War into an 80, and it just got its butt handed to it.
I gave up on my Man of War ranking that poor, I have to say.
It is an absolute nightmare.
You can't get near. You can't get near anything with a Man of War. Mine's in fact, it wasn't armored at the time. I've just put it back in.
Mark, I've got 12 weapons on mine, so it's not running like as a bare rank hull. Let's do a quick fix, blah de blah. I've got 12 weapons that actually are functional, and it had 25% rank on it because I did it on 71s.
Yeah,
because I was that bored. So it's actually reloading, and it's actually ranked, and it's actually got armor points, and it's just not happening. The Man of War is anybody building it, statistically it's a good hull. Trying to rank it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I agree. It's a pain. But I can imagine all the big ones have been. To be honest, I mean, I've never had a proto Nem, and I never intend to build one now. To be honest, but I can imagine that was
no. I'm not going to build a proto Nem either.
I can't imagine that was as much fun to rank either.
Same as the Hellstar. I think it was good in its day, has been now, but that's my preferential choice of whatever. But I should imagine the Hellstar is a pain in the ass, because if you don't get VXP for the drones killing it, and you've got to leave it to the main Hulk to get the rank, I should imagine that is a real pain in the butt to rank.
Look, mate, at the end of the day, talking about 71s, look, you've got two choices. Do the VXP weekend, or go and rank on the sea. I know which I'd rather do. I spent more coins last night after I ranked at my Furies going hitting bases than I did actually doing the whole VXP weekend.
Yeah.
Because I had so much fun going smashing bases, and I 100% every base I touched, and I just randomly went to different sectors, and I went, right, well, you'll do. Let's see what your guard's like. And I learned a lot about the hull as well last night. It wasn't just about hitting things, because it was more about teaching myself how to drive it properly and how to spread them.
How are you getting on with the Hellwrath?
What, the Fury?
The Hellwrath, the Fury. That's what I meant.
No,
yeah,
fine.
as a baser.
Fine now. I wasn't to start with. I made a complete mess of a couple of bases.
I've seen, not being funny, I'm not that far away from you. I'm in the same world, but I'm in a different sector at the moment. And I saw a 5-ship Fury fleet do a real abysmal job about 45-50 minutes ago before the show
because
started.
no one's been driving blitzers like they used to drive blitzers. It's not exactly the same as what some of the old ones used to be like. But also,
we had to go. We had the not the Hellstar, what was it called, Hellstrike.
Yeah.
We had the Gore, which are the two real major blitz. I think we had, what was the one from ages ago? I mean, they're
Strike Cruiser X.
Pardon?
Strike Cruiser X.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, that's a blast from the past.
The problem is, though, I mean, you had the Hellraiser, right? Sorry, the Hellstar, yeah, which and the Hell, whatever the thing is called. But this is different.
The Hellstrike, yeah.
We
had the Gold Saber.
Yeah, so this has got a completely different mechanic on it, because this has got the minus 100%, obviously, multiplier on it. So you can't put, whereas on that one there, you could tank it up massively, and you could do really, really well. This has got almost like a set. I mean, you add armor to this, apart from doing a bit of evade or a bit of anti, plate and that sort of stuff.
Whatever you wanted to
put plates on myself, but you can put the evade and get it up to nearly sort of 50% with a bit of retroing, But apart from that, there's no point putting any armor at all. So everyone's ship is going to be the same. You're quite limited to the specials you're going to put onto it. I mean, it's a basic 4, and then decide the 5th between a series of 3 or 4 different items. And then the weapons are the weapons. This whole, I can see a couple of people putting some unusual weapons on it. The typical somebody trying to beef it up with a pandemonium mortar, but there's no point, because it's not going to work this time. So you got to put something on it that's a bit unusual, that people aren't expecting to attack your base. Maybe some ballistic guns or something like that on it, or maybe a couple of switchblades, maybe, or something like that. Something unusual on this hull that's going to catch people out. Not many people are running ballistic defense on their guard and that sort of stuff, So it may be something unusual, other than just the typical issued scattergun. I don't know. It's just
because not being funny, I've built the Gore Saber and stuff. I've done blitz fleets before. I'm not impressed with blitz fleets hulls, but the actual stats on this hull is good. As stats go, they're pretty good. But from what I've actually seen live on game, not posts, battles I've actually seen, and I've saw one, as I say, 45, 50 minutes ago, the holes are not holding up at the moment.
But it's down to the driver, it's down to the build, mate. Ultimately,
Yeah.
you know, my first couple weren't good. I've learned what the hull was. I made a couple of adjustments, and I'm generally content now. I mean, I drove through a Hellstar last night, and I drove through a Proto Nemesis, and I killed at them and killed the base as well. And they were all, most of them had level 7 turrets in them. So.
But saying that, I am bewildered now, and the only ship that was left to actually kill my base 100% was one of the new holes. All right.
Well, there you go.
But the other 4 did die quite fast. It was just, yeah, my guard was a bit lame. That's not an invite for everybody who's just built a new fleet to come and hit my base, right?
Oh, I think it might be. Anyway.
But they are looking weak. As I said, I don't normally comment on things that I hear type. It's what I actually see in game, and I do play quite a lot.
I mean, put it this way, right? We said back in the preview, and Ren and I were in the preview and that sort of stuff, and Liam did the same thing on his. This is no game-changing hull. All right, then. It's no game-changing hull. It's just a different option. And ultimately, you know, it's not point-click, get to the back of the base. You've got to think about it. You've got to use it. It's just another tool in the toolbox. It's not an overpowered beast like the old hulls used to be. Those days are gone. We're not going back to 12 months ago because that almost ruined the game.
Well, the Crusaders was the first, realistically, as game players. I don't know how many. Yeah, the DNX was a.
The strike cruisers were the first ones.
Well, the original Dreadnought, if you want to say anything, was the worst.
Yeah,
right.
I think Crusader
alone. I've still got my DNX fleet. In fact, it's the next in the line to be scrapped when I start building some new stuff. Which I hate to say because my DNX was shot Qs. They were just absolutely, well, we're having a blast from the past. They were just absolutely awesome. But then the real first Blitz crew Blitz fleet that I really recognised as a click and go fleet was when the Crusader first came out. When you got on the bandwagon, there was nothing at all could stop a Crusader fleet going into your base.
It's interesting and a little terrifying. The Crusader and Arbalest was the first time I can remember that the company said, yeah, we done messed up in regards to power creep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brian, I agree with you 100% there with the interrupt.
Well, but there's more to it, though. Like, not only did they say that it was outperforming their calculations by 400%, they decided to keep it, number one. Two, now it's in the Foundry and available to everyone. Number 3, it's tier 3, which means theoretically there's 2 tiers above that now that are probably better than its fully retroed capacity. So yeah, power keeper, buddy. Hey.
It just seems to have slowed though, hasn't it? I mean, basically that was a monster jump, and it definitely has slowed in the last 6 months, without a doubt. I think one thing I do think it's
that's spread out over 6 categories.
Also fair.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, has there been anything else
Liam's still here, is he? He's rather quiet tonight.
Well, you guys were chatting away. I thought, it would be rude to interrupt. So, has there been anything else going on in BP this week? Since Wednesday, is there any changes or anything else anyone would like to talk about?
The glitches, repairs in the base still happening. They don't know what's happening about it. Blah blah.
This game doesn't have any glitches.
Actually, you know what? Now that we mentioned glitches, there actually is a really important one. Look, there's a really important one for everybody that has a mega hull.
Yeah, definitely. Go on, mention
it. Don't touch your bridges. Don't do anything to your bridges. There's a huge glitch right now that's going on that they have not figured out. I asked, I think this morning, and it has not been corrected as yet.
Yeah, I checked earlier on, mate, and it's huge as well. Because if you make the mistake, you can't go back either.
Just
right, and CS
only. That's only
CS. Yeah, and CS cannot correct it either. That's the other big thing. Is that should something happen?
Is this building it at all?
No,
No, but it will
build away.
disappear on you.
So don't
Yeah,
even build it right now.
You'll lose your bridge. Don't refit bridges.
Refit.
It's just the bridges. That's all it is. Just don't do anything to the bridge.
You can't
Yeah.
refit
Just
your bridge
ignore-
anywhere at the moment, can you?
How does that affect
Ignore the
one
bridge.
building?
It
No,
doesn't.
you have.
I have no idea.
I mean, if you
You
haven't
can't
built
upgrade
your
your
mega hull.
bridge anyway. The only thing I've got left to upgrade on my mega are my modules. Am I breaking up again, or is
No,
nobody
you're there, mate. No.
No. The other stuff. The other stuff is fine. It's just the bridge module, and I think part of it is because they're working on, if I remember correctly, the
UVs or some
drones.
shit?
The drones. Yeah, the drones are coming out next week. Some
that
stuff.
won't,
Yes.
That won't be a glitch or anything holding us up, will it? All right, sarcasm. Come on. Get
Do you
with it.
guys know anything about an upcoming megaship campaign?
Yes, I've seen there's if you go back into the TFCs, there's one that's been grayed out, isn't there? So there's definitely one coming.
Because I've seen a badge, so I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
exactly. mate, yeah.
Info is very slow coming still on the Mega Hull, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, let's
And
look out for.
I'm not an end game player. My Mega Hull's built non-coin, build tokens from whatever.
Well, you well as I know. Okay, on Monday night there's going to be a two-way chat with Liam and Ray.
Wednesday.
Sorry,
Wednesday.
Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday. I
Yeah,
hope it's
Wednesday.
Wednesday because that's when I told everybody.
Yeah. So that should help out a lot, to be honest.
We're going to be talking about hair products, what's best on a dry day, how to get the perfect perm.
Region
General
2000,
stuff.
no doubt. With the grey hairs you got showing there.
So what do you guys?
Or was that before you start talking to me? Or after?
I'm gonna say, look,
No,
I want to say this about the Mega Hull because up until I had that chat with Raken on Wednesday, I was not planning on doing anything after it was built. I was gonna pocket, not do anything with it at all. Just the enthusiasm that he showed kind of got me a little interested, and the stuff that they said they were planning, piqued my interest enough where I'm gonna go, you know what? For now, I'm going to stop putting stuff on it and building it just to see if it pans out. Because
I'll be honest with you, mate. Okay, right? I had done nothing apart from build my gantry, and after I had a little chat with Raken, actually a little offer popped up, and I went and coined 120 Hyperium shards, and I started building it.
Did you?
You better not have, Mark.
I did, Jenna. I did, mate.
Oh man!
Only because I was too idle to hit 97s.
I have a scrap button.
Mark, I would have given you for
But
free.
look, hey, hold on. Now look, that's a very good example though, because just that discussion with him that we had, I mean, he was really enthused. I mean, he was really into the plans that they had for this thing, and
If it goes wrong, Raken owes me 37 quid, by the way.
the breadth.
What are you guys thought on this new hiving thing? And how is anybody using it at all? Right now, it looks like a big
It does nothing. It does nothing yet. It does nothing yet until we get the stuff, the linking abilities.
Yeah, it doesn't do any buffing or anything. All it does is stack all your Hyperions up for being hit by other Hyperions.
that makes them a target.
Exactly.
Well, they're
a bigger
already a target.
I'm getting busted. I need the 24-hour metal thing reduced big time.
I'm still in shock that I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Paul. I'm in complete shock that Mark sold out.
Mate, I spent less coins on that than what you did doing your VXP.
You are just a filthy coiner now, Mark.
I know.
Hang on a minute, Liam. Are you the leader of your alliance or no?
Yeah.
Well,
You're going to need a mega hull then, all right, mate?
Exactly.
Cheers, Mark, for lining up your...
exactly, and I thought I'd better
mega
get off my backside and speed this thing up.
Shit, have I let him into a little secret there, have I?
You haven't let me into any secrets. I know everything before you fucking know it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, just kidding.
When you need to coin your mega hull, you might want to take those words back.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to coin it because I think coining ruins the game.
Another dirty coiner.
Go to.
Liam, did you say that with straight face? I'm not looking at the computer.
Yeah, of course.
I'm having a
Coin runs again.
Brian's actually
Yeah,
said
coin absolutely ruins the game completely.
Brian's actually started doing his R&D.
I'm currently working on R&D level 3.
Man, you better get out there and start hitting some bases.
Well, just do it the slow way, Brian, because you'll feel more rewarded after completing it. Don't do it.
I did as well.
Actually, there is some sort of thing to that too, because like I know you all have them built and such, but more things are going to come out for it over time, and like you might be refitting such and such a thing onto it every time they come out with a new thing or whatever. But by the time I finally get it done, I'm gonna be able to just get the stuff right away and not have to waste time on all those other refits.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. That is one good philosophy. That is an absolutely brilliant philosophy. That is.
So right now, unless you're in a massive alliance, you'll never be able to build anything because the materials get stolen from you faster than you can craft them.
Yes,
right?
totally agree, Ren. That's my biggest.
That
is my biggest gripe with the mega.
That's not true,
you craft
guys.
one, you start crafting the second one, the first one gets stolen. You never get to the 2 or 3 or 4 you need to do anything. So my mega hole is just parked in a corner. I'm waiting for a fucking scrap button. I don't want to play that anymore.
Guys, all you need to do is just to hit the multiple ones at the same time. Get your friends help you out. Hit ones which have the titanium logo before their name. Those are pretty much guaranteed to give you something, and it advances them 99% of the time.
Anyway, it's just a feature for very large alliances. I mean, if you're in a group of 10, 15 players and only 2 or 3 want to play Mega Hole, you're fucked. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, see, now that is a very good point that has to be addressed because,
and
you know, as of right now, I think
I'm pretty sure if you're Games or KDE or PNLS or any of those, you have enough manpower and people willing to play. That's going to be fun.
See,
if you're in any small alliance, forget it.
I think we should play it like you played the board game Risk, where you can temporarily have alliances hive together for a period of time. So, like for a week, like you go and pick a target for a week, you can go and pick another alliance. If you've got like only less than 40 people in your alliance, you can go and then tag up with another alliance.
We'll limit the hive size.
Or the hive size can only hit another hive size, a bit like hitting your bases, you know.
Well, you can't. Hives can't hit other hives. That's not how it works.
No, but you can hive together. No, but I mean, you get the benefits from hiving, don't you? So if you've got a hive that's 40 by 40 and that sort of stuff, potentially, you know, you're hitting somebody that's a single ship that's only got 3 people. You're getting the benefits and the rest of the people in your hive.
Your hives can't hit. If you're hived up and you're on that little thing, other people come to hit your hive. It's a way to protect your megas from other megas.
Yeah, but
that's why the linking abilities are there.
The goodies from all your other mega holes. That's the idea, isn't it? So you're stronger.
When you're defending, yes, but you can't do that when you're attacking. You can't pull all 80 ships to attack another 80 ship group.
Yeah, and the thing that I don't get about it is you join the hive, leave. Period.
Yeah,
you're stuck.
Well, no, you can. No, you can leave so long as you don't orphan another mega. Like if you're on the edge, or the 2 that you're connected to are still connected. If you leave, you can leave. Now the caveat, and I did bring up in a separate conversation. If you are actually in an alliance and you decide to leave your alliance and you're in the middle of that hive, you don't get to move until you can get out of the hive, regardless if you're in the alliance still or not. If you're connected and you're gonna megas, you can't leave even if you drop tag.
Not being funny, I'm getting very bored with the mega hole. My mega hole is at level 231. I put a lot of time and effort into it. No coin whatsoever, and I have busted my butt off to get my. I'm getting trashed. There is no way. I've got no buffs by hiving up. The only thing by hiving up is come and kill my hive from the mega ships. And I missed out on the first TLC of the mega ships. And any mega ship that's hitting me at the moment and taking my resources are all the ones that did the first TLC. Yeah. And not being funny, if I get a TLC, which meant that I have to do the first TLC to get the weapons to kill the second TLC, I want a scrap button for my 231 level mega hull. I don't
Well, listen,
want it.
for me, like, my opinion of the mega hulls is I still am in the position where I'm saying I'm not going to build it. I refuse to build it because I don't see it as of any interest to me. It seems more annoying than anything else. It seems like a chore, a task. It seems like a weight on my shoulders that I just don't need. But that's exactly why we're doing this thing with Raken on Wednesday, because Raken is that's why I'm a good person to interview him, because I dislike the feature and he created the feature, so put us in a room together and he's going to try and convince me otherwise. So there's probably going to be a lot of information coming on Wednesday that none of us know about the game yet. I'm sure Raken's going to have some teasers for us. So your opinion may change, is what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of content with these mega holes that we know is coming that we haven't seen yet. So what I'm saying is, right now it may seem like a load of crap, but I know they've got some tricks up their sleeve with it. So
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
Raken has a much better perspective on the whole thing than we do at this time.
I'm not saying I'm not saying the mega hull is crap.
I think
all I'm saying is, personally, my personal experience from building one and actually putting the time and effort in for no coin whatsoever. I'm talking about collecting resources, hitting 91s, getting the titanium, resources, this, that, and the other. The 24-hour metal thing is absolute shit, because that's the first thing they take off you when they hit you.
Can you coin that?
You can coin it straight away, bang. 356 coin a module, but I haven't coined it. I haven't coined it. I will not. I refuse to coin a module.
And then you can refit that with all the other weapons afterwards?
Yeah, if you want to refit and do a whole turret, just off the top of the head without even looking at it, I think you can have up to 8 weapons and 2 specials before you upgrade it, because once you've upgraded your module, which I've got one of them upgraded, I think it goes up to 9 or 10 weapon slots. But if you're talking about coining a whole module with all the weapons, you're probably talking 700-800 coin.
But you can refit it afterwards, right?
Yeah, but the problem is if you build all 10 and you get a new bit of tech to add onto your mega hull, that means you got to scrap one.
I thought you could
put
switch
the new module on. Pardon?
Yeah.
I thought you could switch them out.
There's no storage facility at all at the moment. I haven't built 10, so
I thought the case was you could switch them out at no time cost and no loss to
That's what I thought I read.
Yeah.
But when you say you switch them out, no time, no build, no loss, where's the storage for that turret? Because it doesn't show anywhere.
On the hull, I thought.
No, it doesn't show anything on the hull.
All right, there's a question for next Wednesday.
You've got no storage facility on the hull whatsoever.
Well, on the note of what you said there, Mark, actually, what we will do, guys, and I know, George, you've already put something together. I haven't had a chance to look at that yet, mate. But we're going to be wanting as much questions and things you want to know, and even suggestions of possible upcoming features to it. I mean, we basically want to hear from you guys on everything to do with mega holes, and I'm going to try and compile as much information together as I can prior to next Wednesday's interview with Raken regarding it. So we'll get. I don't know, George. Did you already put the post up? Do I just need to pin them?
I have the article that it's kind of puts everything together that we've seen so far for the mega, and I have the date for the interview. I don't know what the time was, so I didn't put it in there.
I've actually got the time. I just should have already told you.
I can edit that. I'll text you on the thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit earlier than normal, actually. It's going to be Wednesday, 2 to 3 p.m. PST. So that works out.
That's 10 p.m.
10 to 11 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about the mega hull right now is that people just don't freaking understand it. And I mean, not just trying to understand. They don't understand it at all.
I don't know if it's that they don't understand it. I think it's because we don't see. That's why I mentioned perspective earlier. We have no idea what's coming. So honestly, it looks like a big floating piece of shit.
Junk.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
I
is.
had absolutely no interest in doing it until I had that conversation. You know?
Yeah, to me personally, as I said, I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
I just thought simple. I'll build it. If it's good, we'll crack on as an alliance because a few of us are already getting there now and some have already got them. And then if it's not any good, I'll just put it in the corner of the base and it'll just sit there and I don't care. It'll just die forever. I'll never go back.
You know, realistically, we're still 6 months out before these things are a viable part of the game.
I don't know if it's going to be that long.
Yeah, and bear in mind that we are probably going to be seeing a Reaver. In fact, it was confirmed that we're going to be seeing a Reaver mega hole
Yes.
before Christmas. Before Christmas.
Hang on a minute. We
get that verified?
We really
I
need
didn't know
to
if
know
we got
what's
that
going.
verified
Sorry,
yet.
George. Is that George there? And we'll talk.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure that it had gotten verified. I mean, I was kind of playing with Laredo and chat about that.
Yeah, right. All I'm going to say is they've got to give us enough information, know what we're playing with now before they release any other mega holes.
I agree.
We've got to know what we're building now, the mechanics of it, what bus we're getting by hiving up this, that, and the other. What are we getting for the time and effort? Or if you want to coin it, that's your choice, whoever's choice. What are we going to get at the end of it? We need to know. Because at the moment, I've been playing this game 4 years, and this mega hole thing is like, as I said, I've collected all the resources, I've gone out and done the titanium, researched all my bits, this, that, and the other, and as far as I can see at the moment, I've got 7 turrets on my hull, and this is a pile of junk. It's not interesting. It's a high maintenance for no end of game benefit. So it was designed for the end of game players, if you like.
Well,
I'm saying that very blasé, the end of game players, all right?
Well, and the thing about it, they're releasing another one, twice as much maintenance on 2 of them, or
Well, my frustration with that is they're releasing another one. We haven't started sorting out the first one yet.
Yes,
right.
Mark, that's the point I'm trying to get across. We've got to understand the mechanics of the game. Now, if you're in an alliance, one lot of us might have to build this hull. The second part of your alliance might be better off hanging on a bit to build the second one,
Can you
can support the first one.
And can you hide the two
question
together?
for you.
Exactly.
If you build the mega hole, can you leave it dead?
No.
No,
Well,
it automatically repairs after every.
once it's empty, they can't steal anything else.
No, if someone attacks it, can you just leave it there and just say, "Oh, I'm done with that thing"?
Yeah.
Just leave it there smoking on the map.
Yeah.
It
No, that's
repairs
what
in the
I've
zone.
got, unless you fix your engine, which is
Wow.
you've got to fix your bridge, then your engine to move it across the map, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah,
Engine.
that's correct.
Yeah, you got
So
to
you
fix. No, you got to fix your bridge first. Then you got to fix your engine.
You have to wait half an hour, and then you can coin your engine for 8 coins or up to 8 coins.
Yeah, so it's your bridge is half an hour, your engine's 4 hours, so you stuck there for 4.5 hours.
Well,
Before you can move the hull.
well, guys, we are sort of on the hour, and I know mega holes has been a hot topic for the last few shows, and I hope that maybe Wednesday is going to be a good opportunity, not only for the community, but for myself and for everyone involved in the show, to maybe lay a lot of this mega hole stuff to rest. I'm going to interview Raken from perspective of knowing absolutely nothing about them, and the fact that I haven't built them probably helps with that. And yeah, Raken's going to explain mega holes to me as if I'm a completely new player to the game from the ground up.
New as far as sub driving goes.
We're going to cover the basics in the game, and perhaps why he's pushing the features. So maybe that will be the eye opener we need. I don't know. I know it's a debatable topic right now, but is there any other subjects that anyone wanted to talk about other than mega holes this week before we close the show?
I think that when looking forward for the next raid, Kixeye needs to remember when they tune that there really isn't anything to have our ships get better between the last raid and this. There's no new super torpedo or anything like that. There's no new special. So we can't get any better. So try not to plan for us getting better. if you have your skull hull right, because it can't do that.
I just think I'll enhance on that. Okay, it's quite simple. While I still like the submarine that we've got at the moment, okay, it's getting smashed in these base targets here. So, from my concern, is a little bit like the Scourge. If you're going to polish a turd, it's still a turd. And if this raid doesn't work out next time, and we still lose another 39% of the population of battle pirates not raiding, they might consider this to be a 2-set raid and not a 4-set raid.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that they haven't sat down and relooked at it already.
Because it must have cost them an absolute shitloads in lost revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And don't just swallow your pride and bloody change it. Even bring back an old raid format.
I think I said this before. If I would much rather have a very low loss of players and have Kixeye eat 2 to 4 easy raids. I mean, honestly, it ain't going to kill anybody if we get, because they'll still be coin, just not as much. Have a couple easy raids if, tune it down to the point where we get everyone back, or let surface fleets work. I mean, something, because this raid
is boring.
It's not so much boring. I mean, I did it real quick. It's just that it's not a lot of players like it.
Do you know what? I could have probably done it in 2 hours.
There was no gameplay. That's the point.
Yeah, it was absolutely, as far as gameplay goes, as interest goes. I actually spoke to one of the other guys, Mike, and I said, I'm going to do the front end of this raid tonight, and I'm going to save the back end for tomorrow night, which was like the Friday night, because I'm going to have it all done and I'm going to be bored all weekend. Do you know where I'm coming from? As far as gameplay, as keeping the interest for game players to play something, that last raid cycle was bloody boring.
But you don't. I mean, to me, and as everybody said it, the best way to do it was to go out and treat your subs as surface skimmers. So why build freaking submarines? It wasn't a submarine raid. And these new targets, I've just hit. I'm in a 114 now as I'm talking right now with a ghost crawler. I can't get to the ships because there's cavitation rings all the way around everything. So I'm just having to wait for the timeout now. I've got a soldier on, and I can't actually go forward and hit a bloody target.
Well, I put my man of war in one, and bearing in mind this thing's got like loads of built-in armor, it just absolutely died.
I'm actually building.
It's got so much resist, and I'm talking about everything. I hit a 41, and the 41 was the only thing I could kill without actually taking any damage. It's just pathetic. They put so much resist into these targets. They're not even fun to do VXP.
I'll try to put it behind the Vanquisher and trigger it with
no, I've got 2 Vanquishers that I've got there. I've got more... I was going to say Revengers, but they're not Revengers. They're the other ones that do the beam thing.
Yeah.
But gunboats.
Yeah, that's the one. The Retribution is the one I was thinking of without looking at it. Do you know where I'm coming from? So I've got the fleets there, but the resist, they put them up so much against subs. The only thing that actually did quite well was the 2 Hell Ravs that I didn't have up to maximum skull. They did quite well in the targets. They run quite well, to be honest with you, to be truthful. But if they keep the same format for the difficulty of the targets and the points I get given for them aren't difficult. The fact is the raid is boring. As a tactical enjoyment part of the game, they are boring.
I think the targets are not difficult if you have certain hulls and certain builds. That's the catch. And a lot of people don't have that.
I think a lot. Sorry, George.
It's on several levels that this raid failed on. It's not just that it was boring.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll give you that. Perhaps Kixie. I refitted 3 of my Tiger Sharks out of the 5, just in case. My Hellras didn't work. Right, I didn't actually have to use my Tigers. A fortunate position to be in. Game player, bloody blah. I had them already built. They're skilled, fully loaded torpedoes, blah.
You're in a minority there, mate.
Cheers, Mark.
You are, mate. You're in a minority. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, mate. You're in a minority, and that's why 39% of the people that play this game didn't do the raid because they were either bored with it before they even started it. They didn't even start it. They didn't have the kit to play it. That's it. Nutshell. Job done. It's either I don't want to do subs, or it's great going. I had Hell Race, yeah, fantastic. I was smashing out the S set, no problem at all. I did it for 4 coins each time. That's not the point. The point is, 39% of the people that play this game did not do the raid, and we dropped down 1/3 in the amount of people doing the raid. In one raid, we lost 1/3 of players.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, I think the main thing was that people. It's a very dangerous play from Kickside to have a raid where you can only use one particular kind of ship. That's what's dangerous. How many subs are there out there? There's 4 or 5 subs that are usable, and if you don't have them, or if you don't have a good fleet built, then you can't partake in a raid, and that's silly. It's very silly.
Yeah, I agree with that, Liam.
Guys,
as a game player point of view, I agree with that 100%. Actually.
Guys, do you mind if we wrap it up there then? Is that okay?
I think we got it all.
It's been a great show, and you've all had some great information to discuss. And thanks everyone for coming out and watching tonight. We'll see you on our usual Tuesday show, and then of course we'll perhaps even discuss the Rake and show more on Tuesday. So we will see you guys for the week. Have a good VXP weekend, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Later out.